Hi, it's John Hobbs. I've been off the air for a little while. I'm probably going to be a little rusty here, but I've actually seen three films since my last review, which was suddenly last summer. So, what I saw was Montgomery Clift's. Uh, I saw two out of his first three movies. It's very confusing. His first movie is commonly thought to be Red River, but Red River actually was filmed second. The first movie he was in was called The Search, and that was released after Red River, but it was made before, so technically it was Monty's first movie. I watched that, and then I watched his third movie, which followed The Search in chronological, in order of actually being theatrically released. And it was called, let me think now. Yes, of course. It was The Heiress, which is a pretty famous movie directed by William Wyler and starring Olivia de Havilland and Sir Ralph Richardson. And and I don't normally like costume dramas or period pieces. This movie, which was made in 1949, opens with the title "100 Years Ago." So, like, for them, it would be like going back to 1849, and it took place in New York's Washington Square, which originally was a novel by Henry James, and really, the entire movie took place in one location, the house. And I enjoyed both of those Montgomery Clift movies. Uh, the Search was very naturalistic. It was a Fred Zinnemann film. He went on to do High Noon and From Here to Eternity, the latter being with Montgomery Clift. And he was one of the top directors, as was William Wyler for The Heiress, showing how right out of the gate Montgomery Clift was so highly regarded as an actor that all of Hollywood's top directors were assigned to work with him. The third movie I saw was from the year 2011, and it was called To the Wonder. It was directed by Terrence Malick of Badlands and Days of Heaven fame. I really was a big fan of The Tree of Life by Terrence Malick. That I was reading about this being considered, To the Wonder, that is, being considered one of his worst, not just one of them, but the worst of his films. And I can't really see that would be the case. I haven't seen all of his films. I wouldn't know what to compare it to, but I thought it was passable, but I found it self-indulgent, and I think these are traits that sometimes Malick unfairly gets accused of, but uh, uh, pretentious, um, so much childlike behavior of his adult characters. The women are always dancing and spinning around and frolicking through fields of wheat or whatever crop is growing. And I really am not a big Ben Affleck fan. I usually cut him some slack, but this movie is all about. He hardly said a word in the movie. It was like the architecture of his face seemed to be what Malick was most interested in. And so I'm glad that I saw it, and I'm a big Malick fan because I like the way he makes a movie exactly the way he wants to do it, and there's very few Mavericks like that. So with that, I shall say au revoir and adios and hasta luego.